Boom. So we got a team that can cut it up, chop it up if needed.
Sure.
So I got to record right now. My bad, Kobe. If ain't space.
He good.
Let's see. I don't know if here's an outlet. Let's see. This might not do much, but just for the production purposes.
Shit, those things put off some light. So I got this, one of my homies, his name is Kev. He has a office over here in Costa Mesa, but he's turning like the warehouse portion of it into like a content space.
Okay.
So that could be like something you can utilize too, like in the future if you like gonna keep doing like interviews and podcasts and shit. Like that would be something that, you know, it'd be dope to utilize that space. It's pretty legit.
I feel like that's a big thing. Like people.
Yeah, that shit. There's money
content
in that
spaces,
shit, bro. Like everybody get together and get the content house,
houses.
and everybody just pull up and like that Mafia Don.
Yeah,
you ever pay
crazy.
attention to that shit?
I haven't like watched it, but I see like the highlights and stuff of it, or
Bro.
the recaps of it.
That shit is crazy,
crazy,
bro. Go crazy, and I'm like, when you get to that like level where, cause he got a whole production team that puts it all together, all that shit. So it's kind of crazy. But yeah, we can start whenever.
Yeah, okay. All right, so I'm Jared with Mad Collectives. I got Darius Burton here with me. You know, we're gonna go through some of his background and talk a little marketing for athletes, brands, families out there looking to navigate that. And I appreciate you for joining me.
Man, I appreciate you for having me, bro.
Yes, sir. So,
That's a real privilege to be here. Not often you see like brothers together in our space, just kind of making shit happen. So I appreciate you for having me, and I'm ready to dive into whatever it is that you need me to do.
Okay, yes, sir. So we'll jump into it first. You know,
For sure.
Let's talk about your background coming up in the clothing industry. No, I don't want to say too much. I'll let you talk, but
No doubt.
LRG, I know that's a big one that a lot of people back in the day probably understand. I was young, but I would see all my older cousins, all my rappers or whatever it is that I'm following rocking LRG. So that was a really big shift in the game, especially in the culture. So let's talk about your background.
I mean, LRG, like, to me, and I always tell people this, like, I was young when I started LRG. I think I was 21. I just had my first kid. And so I didn't know what I was doing in life, but I knew the shit that I was doing was either gonna go one or two ways. And so I say LRG like low key saved my life because I had no idea what I was gonna do. Like I wasn't in school. I had a kid, so I had to figure out how to make money. So I started at LRG, and this was like, it was the heydays. And I remember this like it was yesterday. I met Jonas for the first time. And so for those of you that are younger, Jonas was the original founder of LRG. He was the one that put that nucleus together. He was the brains behind everything. He did everything for the company. As far as being innovative, all the designs, everything like that. So rest in peace, Jonas. But I met him at a sample cell. My boy DeAndre was a designer there. He invited me to a sample cell that they had, I think in La Mirada. And, I remember he was just like, hey, they'll pay you cash to come work and basically just check people out and like, just be eyes to make sure people don't steal, from the sample cell or whatever. So I remember meeting Jonas that day and just, dapping him up and saying hello and introducing myself. And so, I was like one of those highlight things. That was like everybody at that time knew who Jonas was. And he was like walking through with like Ben Baller. And mind you, this is a sample cell in La Mirada. So it was like a surreal moment for me. And I'm like, damn, like I just met Jonas. So whatever, I worked the sample cell and I wasn't an employee yet. But then going towards the end of the sample cell, I saw that they had like applications. And this is when people actually printed out applications, but they had applications on a table like full of jobs. Okay. And so like I just went over there, I saw the applications, and I just filled out an application for every position that they had open. And at the time, I didn't know what none of that shit was.
Yeah.
So it was like production manager and like a graphic designer, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that is, but they hiring, so I'm gonna throw my name in the hat.
Right.
So I literally signed the application for every position that they had open. And I remember my boy DeAndre hitting me up, because I guess when they got back to the office, they start going through the applications, and they're like, yo, who is this Darius guy? Like, bro filled out an application for every position, but it was just like me letting him know, like, bro, I'm hungry, like, give me something.
Okay.
So we ended up, I ended up getting a call from DeAndre, and he, you know, was telling me, and he's like, you want to work in the warehouse? And I'm like, yeah, like, I'll work in the warehouse. Yeah. And so I remember he was like, all right, when do you want to start? And I was like, tomorrow? And he's like, all right, bet. You want morning shift or night shift? And I'm like, it don't matter. I'm like, when do you go in? And he's like, oh, I usually come in like towards the lighter part of the morning. And so I'm like, all right, well, I'll work when you work. And so he's like, all right, bet. So literally, that's how I got my job at LRG.
Okay.
And then, you know, I made boxes for 8 hours a day for damn near 3 weeks straight. And low key, that was like your initiation. Yeah, like they were almost testing you. Like if you can sit up here for 8 hours a day and make boxes, like then you deserve to be here. All right. But there's a lot of people that couldn't do that. But I just knew I had a goal, which was to get my foot in the door and then figure out how to work my way up. So that way I could provide, you know, for my kid and everything like that. At the time I only had one. So I didn't have anything to my name, you know what I mean? So it's like, now I got myself and this other, you know, being that I have to take care of. So I had like that no fail mentality. So worked at LRG, I moved up to customer service to in-house sales. And then I did that all the way up until my time there. So I was there for almost 9 years between those two roles. And that was kind of like what set me on the path of like, all right, this is the industry I want to be in for the rest of my life. And I got to just figure out how to keep elevating myself. And so that's what I did. So I was there at LRG. And I mean, those are some of the best days from, what was it, 06 to 14 pretty much, like mid 15. So I was there, I mean, when we had Kanye before he was like, Ye, Big Sean. I remember like Kobe coming through the warehouse. Like he would just come through randomly and just go through the warehouse, pull boxes of shit. And it was just like, it was just love. He'd come dap everybody up in the building. Like he was just like that kind of dude. So, you know, everybody from Kobe to Waka Flocka, like literally, bro, like cross paths with everybody. And so that's when I knew like, this is where I want to be. Going to, you know, Magic out in Vegas and having, you know, like Ben Baller and Diddy and shit, like pull up, like when Diddy was like regular. Like, you know, pull up to the booth and everybody just taking pictures. Like it was just like a different world, like something that I never like seen possible. And then, you know, it just set me up to be like, yo, this is where I want to be. So LRG was literally like something that helped like basically catapult me into the fashion industry. And then it was just up to me to maintain. And a lot of people don't really realize that once you're in this industry, you have to be able to maintain. You got to keep up with the times. You got to know what's going on. You got to know what's trending, what's not, colors, what colors are popping, what's not, everything like that. So it kind of is just like one of those things that I think people from the outside take for granted, how much really goes into like building this community and being a part of this fashion world. So, you know, shout out LRG. They're still kicking to this day. But yeah, that literally like catapulted me into, you know, being the person that I am in the community now.
No,
so yeah, man.
That was a cool story to hear about.
For sure.
LRG, like I said, man, I remember my cousins, you know, uncles, whatever it is, rocking the LRG. I was trying to get my hands on some LRG, and no, that was a big legacy brand, especially in that time.
It was hot. It was the hottest thing on the street, and a lot of people don't realize though too that like LRG, Jonas in particular, they paved the way for all these companies that are existing now within that streetwear space. Because before LRG, there wasn't anything that crossed over like that where you could sell it in the skate shops, but you could also sell it in, you know, the hood store down the street or whatever. Like it crossed over and brought so many people together. And I think a lot of people to this day take that for granted because without Jonas, there wouldn't be, you know, a Diamond Supply. There wouldn't be half of these brands that exist. Supreme, like that, because it was just one of those things that like, yo, it was cool for everybody, not just like marketed towards a certain demographic. Like we had everybody on the roster, so it's just, you know, it's a cool thing to have been a part of, like literally from the ground level.
Yeah, okay. So moving forward, I know you have a pretty extensive background, pretty extensive history. So moving forward after, you know, I won't say leaving, but you know, after your time at LRG, then you got into Ethika, and that's another big legacy brand that's known in the culture from athletes to celebrities to rappers to, you know, you name it. And again, it was another trend that, you know, came across, and I was in college, I believe, and one of my teammates had a pair of Ethikas. He was like, yo, he's like, these are the best boxers ever, especially for athletes, because they're comfortable, you can move around in them, and you know, they're cool, got the style to them. So I was like, all right, let me check it out. I went and bought a pair, and ever since then, you know, I still wear them to this day. So, you know, talk a little bit about that and your history with Ethika.
So Ethika, it was. I mean, it came out of nowhere, so to speak. So after I left LRG, which is back in like late or summer 2014, I went and I worked at a sales agency for about 11 months. While at that sales agency, I was working, the brand that they had was Ethika. So I was, you know, selling Ethika at the time. Like I became like an outside sales rep. I was selling Ethika and like Black Scale and Fila, and this other brand called Pro Standard, which is, you know, still around, super popular right now. But those are the collective brands that I had, and I was, you know, selling those across the country. And so my boy that I worked with at LRG ended up going in-house for Ethika. And so we, you know, we've been friends since, you know, we both started at LRG like around the same time. So we've been friends forever, my boy Mikey. And so he was like, hey, like, I know that you're working with, you know, the agency was called Money Ruins Everything. And so he's like, I know you're with them, but I think Ethika is like pulling out of there. And I'm like, damn, like Ethika was a nice little commission for me at the time. And so he's like, but I think they're going to bring everything in-house. And I'm like, oh, all right, that's cool. And he's like, would you be interested in like coming in-house and working full-time for Ethika? And so in my eyes, I'm like, all right, I've been selling it for like the last 11 months. This shit's cool. But I said, bro, at the same time, I'm like, bro, this shit is underwear. Like how many or like how much underwear are people really gonna buy? And he's like, bro, like, I know it seems crazy. He's all, but like this shit is like, it's different. It's like a new wave. And I'm like, bro. And so I've seen the success already because I was already, like, I already had my hands on it, already selling the product. But you know, he talked to me every day for like a week, and then he's like, just come and just like meet my boss and like, you know, his boss or whatever, and let's see like if there's any energy or synergies. And I'm like, all right, cool. So we go, and I end up meeting them out in Vegas, of all places. And you know, Vegas, that air hits different. So we go to, I remember we started with a dinner, and then we kind of hit it off there, and we were, you know, just talking and just getting to know each other, like no business, just getting to know each other. And then it's like, oh, we're gonna go over to this bar, and I'm like, all right, cool, like I'll roll with you guys. So the drinks start flowing in, like, hey, we're gonna go to the club, like, you want to come? So we go to the club, and I remember, like, you know, we're taking a party bus from each spot. So on the party bus there was like drinks, so we're taking shots, we're drinking, like everybody's getting like loose, so you know, it's a good time. And I just remember we get to I forget what club it was. I want to say it was like Access or something, but we get to the club, and I remember Matt Cook, buying these huge bottles of Dom P, like glow in the dark Magnum bottles. And they come over and they bring like 2 of them, and then they bring a bottle of Grey Goose, because he knew that I drank vodka. So he was like, oh, like I got you. So I'm like, bro, like what? There's only 5 of us here. Like, what are we gonna do with all this? So, we drink it in the club or whatever. And then he's like, all right, we're going to the next spot. And I'm like, yo, well, what about all this? And he's like, nah, just leave that. Like, let's go. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, no. So I grabbed a bottle of vodka and I grabbed one of the champagne and we go on the bus. And we're on the bus and we start drinking. We get to Marquee. And by this time, it's like the wee hours of the morning. And I just remember being in Marquee and I was faded. And I don't know if I tripped or something, but I fell on somebody else's table.
Oh, damn.
And like their bottles went everywhere, whatever. Security came and they're like, bro, you gotta go. Like, you're out of here. And then I'm like, no. So I started talking to security and I'm like, hey, like, come over here, let me talk to you. So I pulled him to the side, we started chatting, and I can't even remember what I said to him, but long story short, bro didn't kick me out of the club.
Oh, man.
He was just like, don't follow anybody else's table. So the whole time, Matt's like watching this, watching it go down. And Matt's the CEO of Ethika. So he's watching it go down. So when I come back, he's like, you snuck back in? I'm like, nah, bro, I just talked to him. Like, and he was like, yo, anybody that can talk to a bouncer in Vegas after falling on somebody else's table, that's somebody I need with me, because you obviously have the words to get yourself out of shit and be able to talk people into doing what you want them to do. That's somebody I need on my team. And so he was like, come work for me. And I'm like, all right, like, let me see what the numbers look like. So we ended up meeting when we got back from Vegas. He showed me the numbers, and at the time, like, it was like dog shit. And I'm like, bro, like, this is me taking a step backwards. I said, this is like entry level, like salary type shit. And he's like, dude, I can't give you what you deserve, but like, I'm gonna make it up for you, and I'm gonna make sure that you're always good. And I'm like, all right, bro, like you're selling me right now. So started at Ethika, entry level salary, and then I was on the sales team. So he's like, just push it, you'll make money commission, and I'll make sure that you're okay, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I think my first month at Ethika, and Ethika wasn't that big at the time. Like, it was, relatively small, but I think my first month there, I opened like 42 accounts.
Oh, damn.
Which is, in the wholesale game, like, that's fucking pretty legit.
That's big numbers.
Yeah, and so he took note of that shit. He's like, oh, shit. So then I ended up getting a raise, like, immediately, because he's like, all right, this dude is fucking locked in. So I was still, doing sales, specialty sales, and then they had a position for key accounts manager. That opened up, like, the guy was leaving or something who was handling it. So right away, before his seat even got cold, like, bro didn't even get a chance to leave the building. I was already at the door, like, hey, I'll take that, like, key accounts position. And they were like, well, why do you think? And I'm like, bro, I'm the most senior on this team. Like, I've been doing it for this long, blah, blah, blah. So then I became the key accounts manager. And that just meant bigger commissions and just like a little bit more travel. But I was ready for it. So that was how we started. And once I got into the key accounts role, like, Ethika just fucking blew up. It blew up, bro. Like, it was just like something that I never even envisioned off of underwear. And I'm making money, way more money than I ever made before. And I'm just like, damn, like, this is good. So, fast forward 2 years later, CEO comes to me and he's like, dude, like, I need you out, like, spreading the word about the brand, and like, you're really good with people, maintaining relationships, building relationships. I want you to, like, join the marketing team, and I want you to be the director of brand marketing. And I'm like, oh shit. And I said, well, what is that? Yeah, like, what does that come with? And he's like, well, you get an office, I'm gonna bump your salary, and then, we'll work out something for commissions. And I'm like, fuck, that sounds good. So, he gave me the salary, and I was like, this is more money than I've ever made. And so it's like, I was making the amount of money that, like, homies that went to a 4-year college was making, you know what I mean, with no student loan debt though.
Right.
You know, so it was one of those things. Just I felt like it was the right place, right time, and I was in a position to go after what I wanted. So I started on brand marketing, and it was crazy because I started with brand marketing like right as COVID was going on. So you know, I built a team, and when COVID was happening, we didn't stop. Like our business actually ballooned when COVID hit, and we were all in the warehouse working because we had so many orders, and then we were considered an essential business because we made underwear, and then we started making face masks and donating the face masks. We would take the designs from the underwear, like any leftover fabric, and we would make face masks. And then we would go to like hospitals and donate these face masks, go to the police station, because everybody needed masks. So then we became like an essential business. So during COVID, you know, once things come back and people come back to work, we built a team. So I managed a team of like 8 people. And we fucking rocked it. And then that's when I started getting into the realm of connecting with the celebrity clientele, the basketball players, the football players. And I just remember like when I really sat back and thought about that shit, I'm like, damn, like I'm really in a position now to like make moves. So my first client at Ethika was Rick Ross.
Man.
Which is,
like
right off the bat. So like
Man.
Rick Ross was one of the first people that I helped initiate like becoming an Ethika ambassador. And it was so random how it happened. Like I don't have any social media, which is insane. But people always ask like, how do you do this job with no social media? And I'm like, bro, I was lit before all that shit. You know, I was going viral before viral was a thing. You know what I mean? So no social media for me. But I helped manage the Ethika social media, and I noticed him tagging Ethika in everything that he did. Like he would go to the store, Ethika, like give me all of them, like buy up all, you know, the rack or whatever. And so finally he hit a post and he's like, Ethika, like let's work. And so he sent a DM and was like, yo, you know, whatever. So the person that managed our DMs like hit him back, and they were like, well, what should I say? And I was just like, if that's really Ross, like give him my number and let's just see what happens. So they gave Ross my number, and then I kid you not, bro, 10 minutes later, I get a fucking call from a 305 number, and I'm like, the fuck? And so in my mind, I'm like, I'm like, this can't be.
Scam, huh?
Yeah, so
playing around.
I'm like, all right, I let it ring. I didn't answer it. And then called right back. And then I'm like, damn, what the hell? So I answer the phone, and it's him. Like, hey, what's up, man? This is Ross. And I'm like, what the fuck? So like, I had to like calm myself down because it was like, damn, like niggas look up to Ross. Like literally, he like controls the culture, low key. So he hit me with that, and I'm like, yo, what's good? And he's like, you know, ain't nothing, big homie, just trying to see how we can work. And I'm like, man, I said, we with it, but I got to see what it look like. What you trying to do? He said, well, I'm going to be in LA in 2 days. I'm going to pull up on you. And so I'm like, all right, you know, whatever, cool. So literally and he like, oh, this is my cell, like lock me in. So of course I saved his number and shit. So he hits me the night before and was like, yo, I'm going to be here. Send me the address to the headquarters. I'm gonna pull up. So I sent him the address. He double tap it, whatever, and I'm like, all right, cool. So Monday comes, didn't hear from him. Tuesday comes, and then literally like 7:30 in the morning, I'm getting out the shower, getting ready for work, and he hits me, and he's like, hey, I'm gonna be on my way in like an hour, and I'm like, what? So I get back to the office, and like I don't even want to tell anybody like, yo, Rick Ross is coming. Just in case. So I'm not looking like crazy. So I didn't say anything, and then I hit our security guard, and I'm like, hey, Ross said he's coming to the building, but I don't know if he's coming, like if he's really coming. And he's like, all right, well, I said, I'm gonna bring my team in, and I'm gonna tell them, because like we were the brand marketing team, so we handled like those VIP like tours and made sure they had promo to take with and everything like that. I said, I'm gonna just tell my team just in case, you know, he does come, and so at least they'll know. So he, maybe 2 hours later, bro shows up, like literally walks through the front door. Yeah. And then he tells the receptionist, like, oh, I'm looking for Darius. And she's just like, what the hell? So she runs to my office, gets me, I come out, and then we dap up. Yeah. And then once we dap up, it was just kind of like one of those things where like we were locked in. Yeah. Like he looked at me and was just like, damn, like this, like I didn't expect like me to be who I was, you know what I mean? Because I don't have no social. He couldn't look me up to like see what I looked like before or nothing. Right. So he was like, damn, he's like, all right. So I'm giving him a tour, and he's like, bro, he's like, can I smoke? And I'm like, bro, you do whatever you want. Like, you can smoke in this bitch. Yeah. So I give him a tour. He said, oh, I only got 30 minutes. We ended up vibing and locking in so tough that he ended up staying for 2 hours. And so it was like almost a weekly thing. We would talk on the phone, FaceTime Friday mornings, like every day. I mean, like every week. And so it got to the point where like fucking my daughter would just get on the phone and waving in the background and shit. And like we literally became like fam and shit. So, you know, that was my first one. And then after that, it was just like all downhill. Like I go into different events, you know, he have a private birthday party, invite me, I connect with people there. And then I started, you know, dealing with French Montanas and Odell Beckham, Chet Holmgren, John Wall. Like Wall I still talk to like once a week too. Like that's like fam. So all these dudes that I connected with, I built like a special bond with them to where even though I've separated from Ethika, I still have that relationship with these dudes because it was love from the start. Like we found a way to connect on like something different than business. So like Chet, I mean, I go to his house, like I don't get a hotel. Like I'm staying at a room in his crib. Like he's got a big ass crib. I go down there, you know, and chill with him, go to, you know, the games with him and everything. So it's like, it's more than just business. And so that's what I've always tried to hang my hat on, is just making things more than just business. Because anybody can do business, but you do great business with people that you like, people that you want to be around, people that are just genuine and they show you love, like no matter what. Like you up, down, whatever, they show you love. Like when Chet got hurt, like bro was in a different space. And I'm like, bro, like shake that shit off. Like I'll come fuck with you. So I'm gonna jump on a flight, go to Oklahoma, chill with bro, and like, you know, just be somebody there that nigga can laugh with, because everybody else is on the road. All of his teammates gone, he in Oklahoma, you know what I mean? So it's always been my goal to just make meaningful relationships, build those relationships and maintain them. So everybody that I work with, I mean, and there's so many more. The list goes on and on. Like, you know, fucking introduced me to the basketball world, Devin Askew. So he, local kid, went to Mater Dei. He was a #1 point guard coming out of Orange County. Went to University of Kentucky right out of high school. Bro was 17 years old, starting guard at University of Kentucky. Playing with BJ Boston, Terrence Clark, rest in peace. But all these dudes, and so I've had the ability to, you know, form these relationships and also build, you know, just like things organically, just being in the right room. So I feel like if I walk into a room, like if there's somebody that I want to talk to or somebody that I want to meet, like I'm not the guy that's standing back waiting for somebody to introduce me. Like I'm going to go and introduce myself and make sure they know, like, yo, I'm here. Like, what's up? I fuck with what you doing. Like, I like your work. Like we should, you know, get together and see if there's anything we could build on. So that's been my whole goal. You know, just being able to put myself in positions and then not waiting for somebody to give me something. Like I don't need no handouts. Like if I gotta get something, like I'm gonna go get it. And that's been my whole mentality, my whole life, which is, you know, why I've been successful and able to maintain in this, you know, this, and I call it a community because everybody thinks the fashion world is so big, but it's small as fuck.
Small world.
It's a small world. Everybody knows everybody.
Yeah.
You burn somebody once, you're gonna get that reputation of you might want to be careful with bro. Like, but I've always made sure that I did good business, and I never let anybody take that away from me. No amount of money could sacrifice my integrity or anything else. So I just want to make sure that like I always stay true to myself.
Yeah, no, that's real.
But yeah, man. I mean, and so I was back to Ethika. I was there for almost 10 years.
Yeah.
And so this past April, I separated from Ethika and just kind of branched off to do my own thing.
Yeah.
I felt like I had reached my ceiling there, and the only place that I felt would be the next step would be CEO. Yeah. And I wasn't. I couldn't do nothing there. Like Matt's not giving that up. So I felt that everything happens for a reason. Me separating from Ethika allowed me to have more time to pour into the business that I always wanted to create. I've always said like I've made millions of dollars for everyone, but I haven't become a millionaire myself. Yeah. And so now that I don't have to focus on building somebody else's dream, I have the time to build my own. So currently I am running my full-time consulting business, which I've had since 2022. And I ran parallel with Ethika, everything from helping athletes get, marketing deals on the back end. Like, I used to work with Paige Denham. So I would get deals for like PJ Washington, guys like that, a bunch of different guys in the league. If Paige wanted to do a campaign, they wanted to do anything in the sports world from baseball to NBA to NFL, they would reach out to my agency and ask, hey, this is what we're looking for. This is what we need. We got this for a budget. Can you get us somebody to fill that void? And so, a lot of people would be like, whoa, like, why the fuck would you do that for them? And it's like, I've built relationships with these dudes. So if the brand comes to me and they tell me like, all right, look, I got 10 grand and I have a relationship where I'm talking to, Malik Monk, or I'm talking to PJ Washington, and we're texting back and forth, John Wall, or whatever. I'm like, yo, look, this company came to me and they said they have a budget. What can you do this for me? Yeah. And so because I built that relationship and they know that I would never try and take advantage or, use them in a certain way, they come to me and I can usually get it for the low. And so it's like, all right, this is what they paid me. Here's yours. And then it's like, yo, keep the change. Yeah. And so once I saw the ability and how easy it was to connect those dots, I basically took that and ran with it. And so that has been my goal is everybody asks me like, well, what does a consultant do? Well, at the end of the day, like I'm a glorified middleman. Yeah. Because I can put you in rooms, and not you personally, but I can put, you in rooms and spaces that you couldn't get in without me. Yeah. And so I've done that for many years for free, not even knowing it, until I had to sit down, and I don't remember if it was Ross or Snoop, but one of them like sat me down and was like, bro, like what you're doing is like, it's not something that people just do out of love. Like you got to start knowing your worth, and you got to be able to monetize these things, because if you don't, somebody else will. Right. Like you've put all these people together and put them in play, and they're out here making millions. Yeah. Like, has anybody come back to you and been like, yo, appreciate you for connecting those dots, here you go. Yeah. And it's like, nah, they haven't. And it's like, and I'm pretty sure it was Snoop now that I had this conversation when he's like, you're like a chameleon. Like you have the ability to adapt into any environment that you in. Yeah. And I say this with all due respect, but he's like, yo, you can go and you can sit with the white people and you can talk their shit. You can understand their language and you can give it back to them. Yeah. Or I can go and I can take you down to the Wilmington Arms, and you're going to sit on the gate with the homies and talk that shit and this and that the same way that, they would with their homie that they grew up with. Right. So he's like, having the ability to bridge those gaps, not a lot of people can do. And I just pride that on just me being in situations where, you know, I didn't have it the best fucking growing up. Like we were poor.
Yeah.
We were poor. And so me knowing that and knowing that that's never where I want to be, like has just helped me to keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing to be better. So, you know, currently I have, you know, customers that I work with. We're doing a lot of sales consulting as well. I've been working with the Marathon Clothing, which is Nipsey Hussle's brand, which
a big brand.
Yeah, it's been just eye-opening to see, you know, that kind of like drive. And even though Nipsey's not with us anymore, his brother taking on all that on his back and basically saying, I'm not gonna let my brother's legacy just die. You know, and I'm gonna make sure that people know who he was and know what he was about instead of just the shit that they read. Like, I'm gonna show you, like, we had these plans and I'm gonna bring them forward. So been working with the Marathon. Culture Kings has been a huge partner of mine. I've been helping them with, you know, different marketing initiatives and sales as well. They have a bunch of dope 1P brands that they take to, or that they sell at their store. They only have one flagship store in the US and it's in Las Vegas at Caesar's Palace, but they have a bunch of dope brands. And so they brought me and my team on to take those brands and distribute them at a wholesale level. So a lot of the stuff that's in Culture Kings, you'll be able to find now going, you know, across the US. So that's been a huge focus, doing that. And also, you know, like still working my brand deals on the back end, connecting the dots between, you know, the NBA players and stuff like that. Like, I mean, the roster that I have, and these are all guys that like I've known since they were youngsters. So like I said, I know I mentioned Chet, Paulo Banchero, Peyton Watson from the Denver Nuggets, like all these young dudes that I've like literally known since they were at Long Beach Poly when Paulo was, you know, in high school. I'm flying to Seattle with Peyton and his little brother to go train with Paulo in Seattle, fucking getting stuck in snowstorms so these dudes could work out together, just because like I knew that they were going to be something special, and now they're in the league. My boy Jalen Clark, he went to what high school did Jalen go to? Somewhere in the IE. I think it was Etowanda, yeah. He went to high school in Etowanda, went to UCLA, and then now he's in the league. He plays for the Timberwolves. Fucking little homie Dylan Andrews also went to Etowanda, went to UCLA. I think he just transferred to another college. But all these dudes, like, I've been a part of their life for a long time. So it's nothing for me to pick up the phone and be like, yo, your big bro needs something, like I need a favor, because I never ask for anything. So if I'm calling you, you know, like it's real, like I need this. Like, so D Burton Consulting has been running since 22, but literally this is the first year that I've actually sat down and put a lot of drive, or a lot of, you know, of all the stuff that I've learned along the way and picked up, put a lot of that into my business, which is helping it, you know, succeed and thrive. And I'm looking forward to the future. You know, I want to, like I said, I want to be in this fashion game for the longest. I love being around, like, you know, high profile clients and celebrities and things like that. And I just, you know, I hope God just continues to bless me with good things and surround me with good people. And I mean, I know we got some shit locked in that's about to go down. So I'm just praying that everything just keeps, you know, evolving and everything just keeps coming together. Because I mean, it's not on our time. It's when God plans for it to happen. And so we might want it right now, but we just got to be patient, stay the course, and it's gonna happen.
100%.
No, that's a fact.
Well, if anybody wants to reach out to you, you know, to get with you for the consulting or anything, you know, let them know how they can reach out to you. You know, if it's email, like you said, you don't have social media, but
you know what though?
Let them know.
What we could do is the social media account that you're helping run for my daughter, which has been amazing. It's helped us out in so many ways. Like, you have no idea. Like, shit that, like, I always hear about, but I don't see. You know, when dudes are like, oh, well, I got paid for this or that. Like, you bringing her on board under Matt and you guys running her social media and, you know, putting the videos together, you know, just off the stuff that I send for you guys to do has helped us out tremendously. I mean, like, there's just like, things that I wouldn't even think of, I've been asking because I've been seeing how easy it is. So, I mean, with the help of you guys, Mad, she's gotten brand deals from, like Kid Nation. She's making videos for the platform. That's a platform that Ludacris owns. She's gotten, a bunch of different like snack deals, Fruit Riot, hydration deals, and she's she's an athlete. So, and I want her to continue to grow. But right now, she's on a platform that allows everybody to see her, and you guys have done a great job with that. So, I mean, if anybody really wants to reach out and they need some help, like you can hit up Aisha Burton _mad, and that would be the easiest way to reach me because I know it'll come, and you guys always, send us all the DMs and everything like that. So, I think that would probably be the better way for people to holler at me. And I mean, I check everything and I'll go through it, but I think. With her having that platform, getting the different brand deals, it's helped elevate her. Even in her little, soccer club, well, I can't say little because she is on the #1 team in the nation at her age group.
I was just about to say, she's been doing her thing on the athletic side too. Top ranked team in the nation, multi-sport athlete. So it's not just the brand deals, she's really doing her thing on the field too. So.
And that's one of my things is I got to just keep her accountable. Like, she has it way different than when I grew up. Like, we didn't have personal trainers. We didn't have any, like, I feel like if I had some of the technology and things that they have today, I could have been something. Like, maybe I could have went to the league, but I don't know. I'm too small. But maybe I could have went to a high-level D1 college instead of being at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. But, that's a different story. But for her, I think, she's on right now the path for ODP, which is the Olympic Development Program. And she's on the younger side. She just turned 12. And a lot of the girls that she plays against right now are 12. Some of them are about to turn 13. So I know there's some soccer rules that are changing next season. So she might have to drop down and actually play with girls in her age, but it's all up to the club. So currently we're with the ECNL 2013 SoCal Blues, and it's been a great experience for her. I think it's actually been a humbling experience for her because she's always used to getting on and dominating. And so the team that she's on right now, I mean, these girls have been playing at a high level longer than she has, but I'm a huge fan of that phrase, iron sharpens iron. So when you play with the best, like, you'll become the best. So for me, she doesn't play as much as she would like. But for me, I just tell her, you just got to keep grinding. Like, and then also, I tell her, don't go so hard on yourself because these girls some of them are a year and a half older than you. Like, she's in 6th grade. Everybody's in the 7th grade. I think we might have one girl that might be in the 8th grade. But again, like, it's iron sharpens iron. So don't be afraid of competition. If you don't play nothing but a half, when you get in for that half, you better make it the best fucking half you can. So I try and keep her, humbled there. But yeah, man, Mad's done a lot for us, and I really appreciate you, taking her under your wing and kind of getting, her used to the social media platform because she's never had social media. And so for her to be out there for everybody to see, I always want to, make sure we put the best foot forward. And you guys do a great job of making sure the captions, sound like they're coming from, somebody her age and everything like that. So it means a lot to me. I mean, and it's helped us get some deals going. And shit, the most recent one we got when you guys did that post for the dentist office. And she was going in to get braces. We ended up getting Invisalign, and I'm not gonna say how much we paid, but it was a lot less than if we didn't have that platform to be able to offer them something back in return. As far as the marketing goes. So that was a great look. Great look. Definitely helped me a lot.
Appreciate it, and it's good to execute when you have, a family like yourself and, a daughter that is willing to do the content, willing to record and send the content in. So, it's a two-way, relationship because
for sure.
As long as you guys are doing what you do and record and providing the content, it makes it easier for us to, you know, edit, turn it around, and do what we do on our end. So,
Yes, sir.
nah, I'm enjoying it. I'm excited to see it. And then it's crazy because she's so young. Like, she's probably the youngest one on our roster, but she's doing so well. And it's going to be exciting to see what happens in the next, you know, 5-10 years.
Yeah,
you know,
man.
just keep it on it. So
we can turn that thing up all the way and just continue to build her. But like I said, I've always been in the marketing space, and when it comes to marketing ideas, you know, those click for me really easy. But just like, I'd never been a fan of like the social media, but now I see how important it is.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, we got to start her like early.
Yeah.
So by the time she gets to high school, who knows? She could have 500,000
$1 million
followers. And then
brands.
that's what I'm saying. And
crazy.
then brands are coming to her like, hey, we got a real check for you. And then
she's
that
big
just
Olympian, future Olympian. Yeah.
That just makes it all come together for us all. Because it's like we won't forget the people that helped us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm always a firm believer in like, yo, you look out for the people that looked out for you, because it's easy for everybody to be around when you're up.
Right.
But when you're down, like, and you still got people around, that's when you know, like, these are people that I gotta lock in with, and those are people that I gotta fuck with.
Yeah.
And that's the way that I see it, man.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate you. You know, we always kicking it, hanging out, you know, chopping it up business. And
For sure.
No, it's like family now. So, you know,
Absolutely.
definitely appreciate being around you, even learning from you. You know, like, I always get game from you when you're talking, giving your experience and giving your game. So, no, it's
bro,
good
it's
to be
crazy.
around.
Like, I don't even see it like that. It's just me, like, you know, it's one of those things, like, if you could help somebody avoid a mistake or a small fumble that you made by just telling them your experience with it, it goes a long way. So anytime I could do that, I'm here. You got my back, like I got yours, and we just gonna make it rock.
All right, now sounds good. Appreciate you for joining. Yeah, so again, make sure y'all stay tuned. Follow us at our different pages. And again, if you want to reach out to Darius, collaborate with him, you know, you can do that through his daughter's page. And we'll tag it below, and make sure y'all follow and stay tuned. Thank you. Yeah. Nice. Now that's
Hopefully you got some good shit in there.
Yeah.
Damn, it's 1:30.